Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody.
Good morning, I guess, and I should say afternoon, evening, so we don't know where you're calling in from or where you're zooming in from.
Right, exactly. So in today's show, we're going to go over what will be required for you to succeed. Okay. Let's see.
So, before we dive into this, Christina, I'd like to cover this every day in case this is the first time you're tuning into our show or this is the first time you're watching a video of us on YouTube. We're all about passive income profits, right? The Pip Sisters, right? Turning your active income into passive income, right? But for most of us, we don't have enough active income to turn into passive income yet. We can start building the passive income, and that's the money that you have coming in, whether you work or not. Ultimately, that's the goal, right? To get to the point where you don't have to work at all. But what a lot of people don't understand is that passive income requires upfront work, right? And it also requires taking money that you have and putting it into passive income projects. So one of the ways that we create more active income, and we do this in several different ways, but one of them is through network marketing. And we do things very differently than the rest of the network marketing industry. So if you're like, oh no, are they going to talk MLM? Yes, we are, but we don't do things like the rest of the industry. So if you've been in network marketing before and you've been struggling, if you've not been in network marketing, but you've been approached by a network marketer and you're like, it was a big turnoff and you were not interested in ever joining an MLM, I really encourage you to watch our episodes. And because we do things very, very differently, we teach a completely different method for building network marketing. And there's only a handful of people out there on the internet who teach how to build a network marketing business without having to bug your family and friends, right? But we also do some other things. And one of the things that we want to talk about today, which is a missing ingredient a lot of times for network marketing prospects, is what will be required of you in order to succeed. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Christina, for a few minutes.
Awesome. Well, the thing is, when you're joining a network marketing business, you usually make a decision to start based on information that you reviewed during the presentation, the video, a walkthrough of the website, and or just conversations that you've had with your sponsor or their support team, right? So you learn all about what the program can do for you. But the missing information is usually what will be required of you in order to succeed, right? You know the benefits, but what do you have to do to get to the benefits, right? We want to give you the 11 things we cover with our just prospective new members before they join our business, okay? You should also add this same list to your interview process with your prospects just to be transparent, okay? No matter how good a network marketing program may be, the only way anyone succeeds is by putting in the work, okay? The best way to set up your potential new members for success is to give them realistic expectations ahead of time, right? Ahead of what will be required of them to succeed. We don't let them go into it blind. We are just gonna share the 11 things that we make sure our prospects have a very clear understanding of before they make a commitment to build their business with our team, okay?
Yeah, and if you're in network marketing, take note of these 11 things because we're going to share them in the way we share them with our prospects, our candidates, our new members who have joined automatically, or people who have purchased things from us, and we take them through the process of learning. But these can be adjusted for whatever your opportunity is, right? So we have our fast track system and our other businesses that we build. And before people really make that long-term commitment, sometimes they've joined, right? But they're not, just because somebody signs on the dotted line or clicks a button to pay or subscribe doesn't mean that they've made any commitment to the business. So we want to make sure before they start spending money every month, before they start putting time into their business, that they understand going in what's going to be required of them. And this is, like Christina said, the missing ingredient for so many people. When they start, they hear the company is so great and the compensation is so this, and you can become wealthy and you can drive all these fancy cars when you're done and all this good stuff, but nobody talks about what will be required of you in order to succeed. They usually start peppering that in after you've decided to get started, and you learn as you go. Oh, I needed this. Oh, I didn't know that. Nobody told me. Oh, I have to do this now. It's 3 months in, 4 months in. Well, nobody told me. We try to be as transparent as possible up front because this is a business, right? We believe in making a business plan going forward. What are you going to need to do over the next 12 to 18 months to make this work? Because the business, we already know network marketing works flat out. Why? Because we know that we have people who make 5, 6, 7, and sometimes 8 figures in this industry, right? So we know that it works. Is it going to work for you? Well, only if you do the work, right? The business is going to provide, whatever they provide at your company. Your team provides whatever they provide with the team. But if you don't do the work, it doesn't matter. They might provide 90% of the resources you need, but without the 10% effort, it's not going to matter. So we're going to go through these things, okay? And we actually have these on a document that we call the letter of understanding, or the LOU. And for you UK people, not the LOO, which is the potty, it's the LOU. Okay. The letter of our UK members always laugh because we're supposed to
Right.
LOU, right? We're supposed to send you the LOU, but we have it printed out because that way we can refer back to it with the new members. Like, you didn't tell me this. Well, actually we did. It's here. We went over with you verbally. Or it also helps each new member remind themselves of the commitment they made to themselves when they went through this information. So the first one is that, I agree to follow the system to the letter for the next 12 to 18 months. This actually applies, I think, across the board, no matter what your network marketing company is.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a commitment of a year to year and a half to really make things work in a new business. It doesn't mean you're done at 18 months. It means that if you've only been doing something for 3 or 4 months, it's probably not long enough to make it work, especially if you're brand new and it's a whole new concept and you have to make a new schedule and do tasks and activities you've never done before. So I always tell people, you want to make this commitment to us and to yourself to follow what we're teaching you for the next 12 to 18 months, and not to deviate from that plan, from that system, from whatever it is that you're doing until you've reached your income goal. And your income goal may take longer than 12 to 18 months, right? And that, network marketing fast track as well is not a get rich quick scheme.
Right.
Christina talked about this yesterday. We have a become wealthy permanently business plan, and it takes every bit of 4 to 6 months to ramp up. And that is also probably true in your network marketing company as well. You have new products, new services, new systems, new teams that you've not experienced or used before. And it will take time to get things rolling, even just learning the lingo, the verbiage that is used inside of your company, right? So you have to be patient with yourself. And if you understand this going in, and if your new members understand this going in, they're going to have more patience with themselves and they're going to stick to it longer. Okay. Because most businesses start out slowly and they work better with each passing month. I know, like with me, because I do a lot of email marketing. Just think about this. Let's say it was my first month email marketing. I might have 100 subscribers on my list after month 1. Maybe I get a little better, and then month 2, I've got the 100 subscribers, but I've added another 500. And let's say the third month, I add another 1,000 subscribers. So I have 1,600 people on my mailing list. By the time a year has gone by, I might have 10, 15, 20,000 people on my mailing list. Am I more likely to have sales and enrollments with 20,000 people on my mailing list in month 12, or with 100 people on my mailing list in month 1? Right? It's not rocket science. So most things, the longer you're using it, and whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, email marketing, direct mail, the longer you're doing it, the better it works. So you have to give yourself time to ramp those things up. The second thing that we make sure people are clear on is how much money they need to invest right away. So that's different for everybody because it is different for your company. Maybe you have marketing systems and tools that you use, but we want to make sure people understand this is how much you need right now, today or tomorrow or this week when you start. And then we go through a budget over the next 12 to 18 months. What should we be budgeting over the course of a 12 to 18 month period? It's like people don't think about the long-term investment. It's like, but I might scare people off if I talk about that. What if they don't sponsor anyone for 6 months and your program is $400 a month? Then they need to have that budget and that money available, and at least, available every month until things get ramped up, right? The worst thing that you can have someone do is come in and say, oh, I have just enough money to get started this month. I hope I sell enough pills, shampoo, web hosting, education packages, whatever it is. I hope I sell enough of those so I can pay for my subscription or my product purchases next month. That is a terrible business plan. Terrible business plan. Does it work for some people? Sure, but know that it's not likely, right? And for some people, it may motivate them. And our job is to tell somebody exactly what they should do, just that they should have a good understanding. And if they do it anyway, then we've done our job, right? If they go and say, well, I'm going to throw this money in, it's my last $200. It might work for them. So I'm not saying that it doesn't work to not have a plan, but it is much more beneficial, and more people in my experience have more success when they actually look at a network marketing business like a real business. The other day we talked about opening a restaurant. I did talk about that, didn't I, Christina? Opening a restaurant. I think that, I don't remember what day it was. Let me just go over it really quick again. If you were going to open a restaurant up, all right, you would not open the restaurant up with just enough money to pay your first month's rent and bills and hope that you sold enough breakfast, lunches, and dinners to make your rent in month 2. Nobody would open a restaurant like that. No business would get a loan from the bank with that business plan. Why do we treat our network marketing businesses any differently? Right? We like to help you guys have a plan. So when we go through plans with people, we give them specific numbers, but we like to customize things because everybody has a different budget of time and money. And we like to, instead of dictating, well, you need to have, this much money every month, we like to see, well, what are your resources, and then customize something for you. But then we will go through, okay, we're starting with this much money this month, and this is what you should budget over the next year to year and a half, right? And that sometimes there might be additional tools or things that we find that we might have to add later that might pop up. Just be aware that sometimes happens, right? Third thing that we go over with people: fast track, home business, network marketing, all of it. It's like an iceberg, guys. I mean, literally, when you go through the information, no matter, even as thorough as we are on Fast Track, we are so thorough. We have several conversations with people most of the time before they get started and make that long-term commitment. It's still like 10%, right? Because the other 90% is below the surface. It's what you learn as you go, right? So we always want to make sure people understand that they want to work side by side with their sponsor and their support team to learn that other 90%, right? And so what we have our members do is they set up a schedule with their sponsor and their support team. Some people do a daily call with their teams. Other people do a weekly call. Some people do one-on-one weekly calls. Every sponsor is kind of different, but the gist of it is you want a scheduled time that you meet with your team every single week, at least once a week. And if you're like, but Christy, I've sponsored 300 people. I know that's a bad problem. That's a terrible problem to have.
Right.
Then you do a group sponsoring call every single week, not their teams, just your personals. So they know that they've got you, right? And if you're not ready to do that yet, you can ask your sponsor, could we tap into your team call that you do, right? But the point is that a new member should understand that they need to have some type of standing appointment just to make sure that they have questions answered. Now, I used to do a lot of like one-on-one standing appointments with my team, and sometimes they'd be 5 minutes. I'd get on, I'd say, hey, Bob, what's your questions today? He's like, I don't have any questions this week. Okay, cool. And then we'd talk about something personal for about 2 minutes and we'd hop off, right? But he knew that he could talk to me every Wednesday at 2:00. And if he did have a question, then he could write his questions down and we would be talking every single week, right? Mm-hmm. What else?
Number 4 is going to be, in order to succeed, I will make 3-way interview calls with at least the first 20 candidates I speak to. Each time someone requests information or enrolls in one of the income streams, I will forward the email to my sponsor and schedule a 3-way call. That is very important. Okay. I agree to provide the same level of support to my new members. And remember, this is a document that we are giving to the new members on our team so that they have this information in advance. Okay. Number 5 is going to be, I understand that I will need to invest a minimum of 15 hours a week to build my business. I also understand that there are no mandatory weekly hotel meetings or home parties, but I will need to invest at least 2 hours a week each week in online business briefings, leadership calls, training conference calls. Okay. And I agree to attend team events and encourage my own team to do the same. Okay. We do a lot of things online, and I love that because everybody can attend. And one of the things that I do tell people for this specific one is, if you are working, if you have a family, we understand. But please remember, we're asking you to schedule that 2 hours a week towards training calls and things like that. If you can't get on the call, be prepared to watch or listen to the recording, because we make sure that the recordings are available for everybody. Okay.
And then can I just add something before you? If your company or your team has repetitive, let's say, people call them, we call them business briefings, but they may have call them opportunity presentations, or it's the Zooms or the calls for the prospects to show them the business, and then somebody's doing a presentation. I really encourage you to attend as many of those as possible. People, like, I get pushback from the members for this. Get your name in the Zoom. It doesn't mean that you have to be paying attention to the whole 30-minute thing or 45-minute thing, but the more people that are attending, it's social proof. You're supporting the team. And the next time you have a guest on that Zoom, you're going to wish that the team was supporting you with your guests. So it's like, even if it's a conference call, because we still sometimes have just phone calls, but call in, say hello, put yourself on mute. Right. The other thing, I have had people say, I don't want to attend the business briefing, the fast track business briefing anymore, because I could recite it in my sleep. Good. That means that you could start participating and doing it and helping us. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, I didn't want to. I want to host the call. Okay, but that's okay. That's good. Right. Because I said to this person, actually, it was Howie and I. He said, I don't want to get in this conference call days, right? Not Zooms. And he said, I don't want to get on any more conference calls. I'm all conference called out. And I get it, because I get zoomed out sometimes too. Like, I call it zoomed out now, right? Because we're on so many Zooms. So we get it. However, he said, it's always the same people on these things. And I said, so you mean like it's always the top leaders that are making the money? He goes, yeah, it's just all the people that are making money are always on there. Clue.
Right. Success leaves clues.
Clue, you need to be on there, because the people who make money are getting on there every time. They don't care if they've heard the presentation 1,000 times, they're getting on the Zoom. So I just need to add that, because I get the fatigue with listening to trainings, especially when they're ones you've listened to already, but at least just get your name in there and support the team that way. Right?
Exactly. And then number 6, for you guys who are taking notes, right? No system is perfect, especially on the ever evolving internet. I will always remain positive and will focus on the solutions, not the issues, especially when working with my team. It's very important to keep that upbeat positivity going through your team, because like bad news travels very quickly. So you want to make sure to keep that to a minimum, especially coming from yourself as the leader. You lead by example. Yes, in network marketing, with the internet, with technology, things will come up and happen, but it's not your job. Exactly. It's not your job to focus on the problems. Usually, if a few people put their heads together, you can come up with a solution or workaround that's a temporary fix until whatever's going on is repaired, right? So as a leader, you always want to keep that positivity. You want to make sure that you are making sure to lead the morale of your team by example.
Don't be a Chicken Little. The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
And the site's been down for 2 seconds.
Right, exactly. And remember, as Christina and I go through these items, you should be thinking about these from 2 different perspectives. Number 1, are you making these kind of commitments to your business right now, whatever it is that you're doing? Because these are the commitments. sometimes we talk people out of this going by through this by just telling them the facts. There's nothing over the top crazy on our list, right? But people like, I don't want to talk to people about these things beforehand. They might not join. Well, good. If something on this list is going to scare them off, they shouldn't get started right now. It's maybe not good timing for them. But the other thing you need to look at is, are you going through this thing with your prospects? Are you talking to them about these requirements and these things that they're going to have to do? Are you being transparent? Right? Because when we say we're trying to scare people off, it's a little tongue in cheek, obviously. I mean, but at the same time, we're also being serious, because if Christina says to somebody, look, you need to attend, I don't, okay, can't force you to attend, but the people who attend the highest level of Zooms, go lives, conference calls, whatever we're doing, have the highest level of success. It's not like she said, it's success leaves clues, right? So you want to be on the highest percentage that you can as possible. And if you can't be on, then watch the recording, or if you can't listen the whole time, put your name in the Zoom. If that is going to be an issue for you and you're like, I don't want to do any of that, you're going to have a hard time in the business.
Your team's going to have a hard time.
Right. So I'd rather that you don't get started, right? It's not because we don't like you or that you have a character flaw. Sometimes it's not good timing for people. They've got a zillion and a half things going on. Again, just because we're devoted and committed to the business doesn't mean your new member is devoted and committed at the same level you are yet, right? So you got to be patient with people, right? Now, next thing, I love this. We did not always have this in the letter of understanding. And then we just had to add it because we have a lot of people that come in, they've never done business online before. We've had some, I want to say, older people, older than me, right? Older people who were shocked by some of the stuff that happens on the internet and in email marketing and with trolling. So when you're contacting thousands of people a year through marketing, okay, especially on the internet, we will be encountering all different types of people. And I will tell you, my sentiment is most people are great people.
Yeah.
Most people are not bad people, okay? They're wonderful people. We have a lot of excited people, motivated people, but you get the lazy people. You get forgetful people. I sometimes forget, right? So I can get put in that category. But you also get cranky people and even downright nasty people. It happens. It's not super rare. I mean, it's super not super rare. It is super rare. But it does happen. Christine and I see weird stuff all the time on our social media. Okay. I've gotten the most crazy emails back through my email marketing that I will not repeat on this show. I might not even repeat it to Christina in a one-on-one conversation because that's how disgusting some emails are. Why do we talk about this ahead of time? I learned this lesson a long time ago. We've had some people who are new. They're so emotional. And when they see someone troll and put something nasty, and I'm not talking about like a negative content. I'm talking about when people get kind of nasty or whatever. So we talk about this ahead of time now because so it helps people when they get that. And it's gotten worse, don't you think, Christina, with social media? Like,
I think
say whatever they feel like it.
Social media is giving a lot of people the ability to be bigger than what they are in real life. Like some things they say online, they wouldn't say to a person face to face.
Yep.
And I think that's the driving force behind some of that. But I think a couple of days ago was my first time in network marketing encountering a very rude person. And all I was doing was trying to help. And there was definitely an error on my part. So I did show everybody what it was, fixed it, right? Because we're solution oriented. But it happens far and few between those really nasty people. But you do need to be prepared to know how to handle yourself. Because you don't handle them, it's how you conduct yourself.
Bingo. That's it.
Yeah.
You refrain from responding, period. You do not respond. I don't care if it's email or comments on social media. You do not respond, no matter what type of communication you get. If it's an email, you go into your database and you delete and block them so they never can get an email from you again, right? And I'm kind of like, thank you for letting me know what kind of person you are, because I would never even want anyone like that in my business, and I get to get them off my list. So I look at it as a positive thing,
Mhm.
And if it's social media, if it's a nasty comment, you can just delete it and you can block them as well. Be sure
Yep.
that you delete first,
Yep.
then block. Because if you block, it still may be there for other people to see, even though you can't see it. So delete
Mhm.
first, block, and then that's it. You got to remove the emotions. But if you go through this with people ahead of time, most people are nowadays are probably like, well, I already know this. You're going to get stuff. There are people that have never experienced that if they've never done marketing before. And the first time, I don't care who you are, it does take you aback a little bit. You're like, wow, because you would never speak to someone that way. You can't believe someone would speak that way to you. And you
Right.
might get an email. It'll be like, get me off your bleepity bleepity bleep list. You bleepity bleeper, you should do this with your bleepity mom and your bleep. I mean, it's just
Yep.
like some the worst stuff, right? And I'm being gentle here because I've seen some really bad stuff. So
Yep.
literally, you do not respond. You do not respond. Um, the next thing is that the business and marketing methods that are constantly evolving. I mean, especially because we deal with technology, we deal with the internet. Um, so you have to understand that over time, and we build multiple income streams and we have a lot of different tools that we use. They may be added or removed from what we're doing. And it's all anytime we add something or we remove something, it's in an effort to improve productivity for the whole entire team, right? Everyone doing what we're doing. So um we do our best to lay out, here's all the tools we're using, this is the cost of the tools, right? This is how you can get the tools for free. We'll lay this stuff out, but we don't know, in 6 months from now, there might be a really good tool or a really good automated system or something that we might add and that just pops up and we didn't know about it 6 months ago. So we always just let people know there you could see little tweaks. We are always tweaking, if you will, but it's always to improve productivity for you, our members, right? Now, going to, I think if you've been listening this week, you understand with our fast track system that it's designed to build any network marketing business.
Right.
Because of that, this is something else that we talk about. And even if you only have one business, you should still talk about this with people ahead of time. It is essential that every member respects all other members, and you have to refrain from at all costs cross recruiting other members, right? We have multiple income streams. If I'm adding an income stream, I am not going to go call Christina's members and say, hey, check out this income stream.
Right.
I'm not going to call my sponsors members and say, hey, check out this income stream. They may see it on social media. There's nothing you can do about that. That is not cross recruiting. Okay. You cannot say, well, I'm not going to ever market or advertise because someone on someone else's team might come onto my team. You have to go out and market in social media and in email, and they might be on your list. What I'm talking about is intentionally. Oh, Christina's team's all network marketers. I'm going to go call all of them, right? And I'm going to tell them about my business, this other new thing I'm doing. We do not
Right.
tolerate that on Fast Track. You can only present your businesses to your personally sponsored members. Personally sponsored. Your sponsor, by the way, is not a personally sponsored member.
Right.
I want you guys to remember that someone else sponsored them. So we're talking about personally sponsored members. If you practice this in your network marketing businesses, even if you're building multiple businesses, even if you're not, people leave and then they try to go after people's teams. I don't know how many times we've left money on the table because we refuse to just go, oh, let me just, blast this out to everybody I know, because it's an integrity thing for long term. And we leave that money on the table because we don't want that money, right? We don't want the money that came from cross recruiting. So inside of Fast Track, if we see people, recruiting and engaging in this kind of activity, enticing or soliciting other members, we shut them down. You can't be part of Fast Track anymore. I will tell you this. We ran Fast Track for 15 years. We never once had someone intentionally do this. Now, I say intentionally because there are people that do things and they don't realize that they're doing it. And then you just have a discussion. Okay. And it's like, oh, I didn't realize that. Never, not one time. And I believe that it's because we talk about it in the letter of understanding ahead of time. Okay. We're very, very clear. Number 10, making sure everyone that comes in your team understands that no matter what you've discussed, no matter what the comp plan shows or the The pictures have been flashed up on the screen by some people, maybe in flashy, cars and houses. There is no guarantee of income in any income stream or any tool or any business ever. Even if you look at a business and they don't put a disclaimer on there, assume that that is the truth.
Right.
Okay. My earnings will be a direct result of my success and the success of my team. Your earnings will be a direct result of your success and the success of your team. All right. So we cannot guarantee of income. However, I can guarantee with about 99% certainty, if you follow what we do for 12 to 18 months, you will have success. I didn't say you're going to get rich. I didn't give you a specific dollar amount, right? You will start seeing success. You will have people sponsored. You will have people coming to you with wanting to join your businesses. Okay. We can't tell you how many that will be. We can't
Right.
tell you how much money you're going to make. But we can guarantee that if you follow the system, that you are going to start seeing success. I only can say that because I've seen it for so many years, over and over and over again. We didn't have not one person, not one, that didn't have success who was using the system for 12 to 18 months consistently every single week. And the last thing that you want to cover with people, and this can be different in every business, but understanding that they're going to need certain tools. So whatever you're using in your business. Now, in the old days on our Lou, we would have that they need to have a phone with three-way calling, a mute button, and an answering machine or a voicemail. Back then, like when we very first started the letter of understanding in 2000, not everyone had three-way calling. Not everyone had a mute button. Most people have these things now. It's kind of a given, but you
Right.
could still talk to them about that, make sure that they know how to do the three-way call, right? Because that's sometimes they have it on their cell phone. They just don't know how to do it. The capability of using the phone and the internet at the same time is almost true for everyone now. Back in 2000, it was not. So we would cover that. Having them get a headset. Not everyone has a headset. It's a good idea to mention that they should probably want to get a headset with a microphone so they can participate if they choose to verbally inside of your Zooms, your conference calls. That might be another thing that you include on your letter of understanding, that they need to download certain things. Okay. We need you to download Zoom, this, and this, right? These are all free programs, but you need to be able to download them on your computer and just have that set up ahead of time. It's pretty simple, just equipment requirements, right? It's just simple, basic stuff, right? So again, these 11 items are things that, and we have a 12th one that I didn't really want to go through on here because it would have made a lot of sense because it's very specific to Fast Track, but we actually have 12 items. Understanding what will be required of you before you join a business when you go in with realistic expectations. I think expectations are the key to everything. Why do marriages fail? Because the husband and wife were expecting something that they didn't get, right? Expectations is huge. And if you present realistic expectations to the right people, they will, first of all, they will appreciate you for it. You will build a good reputation, right? People understand you're honest and transparent, and the right people are like, yeah, this makes complete sense. Thank you for going through this with me. I'm ready, pick me. I know you're only, because a lot of times I would only choose 3 or 4 Fast Track members a month to work with because I was busy.
Right.
I want to be one of your 3 this month, right? And it wasn't like a FOMO or a scarcity thing, creating fear of loss. I literally would only choose 3 or 4 because I remember the month I took on 4 heavy duty, like people who really want to dive in. They were so serious, and I was like overwhelmed because I had so much to do with them. So understand that when you go through realistic expectations with people, they will have a better chance of success when they start, right? Because they knew going in what it was going to take. And I like having it printed, and we initial these items and we sign. It's not like a document that's legal in like a court of law or anything, but it's just like, I'll sign it as a sponsor. They'll sign it as a commitment to themselves, because our commitment to you is, if you do these things, we're here for you.
Right.
Like, I will work my tail off for you. I will be there for you when you need your 3-way call and your conference call or whatever. Right. So that's it. That's the Lou. That's the Lou, the LOU in a nutshell.
Right. So if you guys are serious, right? If everybody who can hear the sound of our voice are serious home business entrepreneurs who are just struggling to create customers, new enrollments, leaders, and income in your business, We're going to show you step by step how to create automatic enrollments and sales, how to build multiple income streams seamlessly, simultaneously, and with one effort, and how to uncover leaders within your business, right? Now, if you're ready to learn how to put your network marketing business on the fast track, make sure you're subscribed to our Pips for Brunch newsletter. So it's just www.pipsforbrunch.com. I couldn't say it without giggling, right?
www.
Right.
Yes.
Now, just listen, our subscribers will actually be able to get a few additions, right? They're going to get early access to our fast track training and the system. So make sure you go here and subscribe. And not only are you going to get early access, but there are some tidbits, tips, and tricks that we do not broadcast on the show, that we don't broadcast on our social media. So you might want access to those as well. So don't forget to go subscribe.
Yep. What we're going to do is we're going to drop that fast track access through email first, and it's going to go out to the list, and then it'll be a day or two before the rest of the audience gets it, because we like to reward action takers, and we like to reward our subscribers, and our customers. So
exactly. So that is going to wrap up our show today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to share the content if you think others can get some value from this information. But we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.